Hello, welcome to a Dialed Outdoor production. Today we are going to be tying an egg sucking leech. So what you'll need is a hook. I am using a size 4 3x by 4x long hook. Need some marabou. Today we're using black. Spectra Glimmer chenille, or whatever you like to use for the body on your woolly buggers. This is what I'll be using today. And then typically it's tied with dubbing or a yarn for the head, but today we're going to be using mcfly foam. Alright, so you're going to start out with some lead-free wire. This is 0.35 millimeters, so pretty heavy stuff. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. We'll do 6 wraps. We'll replace the weight of the fly, and we'll put it at the head to give it a proper, typical woolly bugger bead head action. Alright. Using some 6/0 thread. Tighten that down. I always go over and around and make it kind of crazy. And then I start wrapping back. Snip the excess of my thread free. Alright, I'm going to get it back there. I'm going to put my flash on. I'm using Pearl and UV flash. I'm going to use a strand of each, and I'll show you what I mean here. So 1 strand, 2 strands. I'm going to go and get it lined up where one end is even and the other is long. If I got any extra sticking out, just go ahead and cut that off right away. Alright, and then I'm going to fold this bad boy in half, because we're not going to need that much of it. We're just going to need a real little bit. Well, now that it's in half, I'm going to cut the end off, wrap it up on here, and this is optional, and you can use whatever flash you want. I like flash out the back end of my woolly buggers. I feel like most people do. And we're going to tie this down until about the hook point. Cool, and that should be enough. Leave that long for now. Now it's time for the tail. So what I like to do is really work this pretty flat, and then the end part of this will kind of snap off sometimes if it's not right, and I'll measure out into my lead wire. So with this about 1 length shank the hook. Well, that's pretty golden. Tie that bad boy on. Don't worry if it's pretty. Alright, and now we're going to leave. Now I'm going to do a couple of wraps here with this, just to build up my body transition closer to that wire. Keep spinning. It's okay. What we'll do is just retie it on. One, 2, 3. Sorry, hit my camera. We'll do a few wraps in front just to cinch it down. And what we'll do here is just kind of wrap this up a little bit, give myself a body transition right into that wire, because that wire is really thick. The rest of the material I'm using is pretty thin. We'll just cut that free. Take all these extra fibers here, pull them back, and just cinch it all down. Till about here. Boom. Adds a nice thick tail. Then we're going to take our chenille. What I always do is I tie in a little bit of it, just that way it doesn't slip. Alright. And now with close touching wraps, we're going to wrap this up. I use this to add extra flash in and replace the need for hurl and dubbing or any other type of chenille on my woolly buggers. I like it. I've been using it on the Great Lakes up here in Alaska, freshwater streams in Pennsylvania, all over the East Coast. And up here, it seems to work really well. Trout really like it. Salmon seem to like it. Yeah. Pretty much anything that eats a bait fish eats a woolly bugger, right? And anything that's spawning will start getting a keen response on bait fish. And anything that's picking up eggs, especially if they want the eggs, right? These work for pink salmon, they work for Chinooks, they work for cohos. Get that forward. And here we're going to wrap it up onto the lead weight. Few behind, a few in front, and I always go a little bit back on it. And then take your excess, snip it off. I work the whole thing back, and I wrap back on it to keep everything going backwards, right? And I wrap it down really well. All right. Now it's time for the second part of this fly, which is pretty much an egg fly. So I got a clown color version of McFly foam here. I got a whole bunch of it. What we'll do is cinch that bad boy onto the top. Go around the front of it. And go around the back of it. Try not to get your spectra chenille on here. If you do, not the end of the world. Try not to. Alright, now that it's nice and tight, you can whip finish and glue your thread down. Don't need it anymore. Finish off this fly like any other egg fly. Snip. And then roll this over before I finish off my fly. Add a little bit of hard as nails to it. Get that knot. Get that thread ball right by our weight. And then what I do with this is just like the egg fly. I'm going to get this as tight as I possibly can before I cut it. Can sort of trim this later once you got it on there. Really want to make sure everything's wound up and tight. Give this a few flicks forward. Just help work this material over with your fingers. Come back here. Find the edge of your flash right past the edge of your marabou and snip. Missed one. It's okay. Cut it again. That right there, my friends, is an egg sucking leech tied with McFly foam. Now what I like to do with the ends of this is either take my lighter and kind of burn it, or take a little bit of glue and put it on these fibers. Helps keep it contained when you're fishing. Then I just kind of work it with my fingers. Helps it keep some of its shape. It's still pretty spongy, right? But it just looks overall good. Don't worry about the bottom. You already covered that up with thread. There's enough there. It'll be okay. If you really want to cover it up, you can add more. Or you can lap more of the Spectre chenille. I don't notice a problem with it like that. I just kind of take it, twist it, and work it. Now that that glue is pretty dry, that's what the fly looks like. If you like this video and you found it helpful, like and subscribe. If you want to come, if you have any ideas for videos, leave a comment down below. If you want to come fishing with me up in Juneau, visit www.dialed-outdoor.com. Thank you for your time today. Have a great day.